that we have production masterclass. I'm gonna show you the way I create the track, which was released on my label Codex, and it already has around 400,000 listenings on Spotify. It was included to Techno Bunker playlist, and well, something good I can share with you. I don't know, honestly, this is the first time I'm sharing for such a big audience the way I'm creating tracks. So don't judge me too hard. For me, the most important thing is to create music. A lot of people asking me how I work. Do I have some hardware or I work in software? Honestly, I'm touring a lot, I'm playing a lot, and that's why for me it's critically important to have everything in my laptop. Because most of the time, during when I'm spending time at home or where I'm not touring, I have to run two labels. I have Codex and IAMT, and I work hard on the management of my profile. So normally, I spend the time making music in the hotel or on the plane. This is where I work. So to show you the way I created, I'm sure there are a lot of producers, and probably I will not show you anything new. So I will make quick run through my project, and probably I will be happy to answer your questions if you have something, okay? So for me, when I start the track, I always started with kick. I'm playing techno, and I think it's normal. Kick is a groove, and then I work on the hi-hat and percussion sections to make this groove. And with this track is pretty melodic, so I use the melodies, and I'm gonna show you what I did. So I think we need to pick up the volume. Guys, can somebody help me? More. Well, this way this track doesn't work. No. You have to rise right. On the project, it looks probably a little bit boring, but I can show you the way this track works on the real dance floor. This video was made at the party in Fabric Madrid. On the video it looks better, right? Okay, now you believe me. Well, that was the idea. Normally I'm making more like heavy techno, more kind of tools, you know, and that was the idea, to make more melodic sound, and that was really winning strategy because the track got really good support on Spotify. And right now, for us, even for my label, we focus a lot on that source, not on Beatport, but we focus a lot on Spotify, because as we understand, DJs never buy the tickets to our shows. They all come for free. And the people who buy the tickets for our shows, they listen us on Spotify. That's why we are focused on this. I don't know, because when the guys asked about the demos, I saw that everyone was raising their hand, and probably, yeah, there are all sound producers here, so I will not show you anything new, but probably if you have some questions about the project itself, probably I can explain you, so go for it. No? No questions? Okay, let's start with the scene. You see, here I used groove. To make it sound more fat, I used two same massive sines and separated them to the two channels. Because it's the same preset, everything the same, but still it's synthesizer. So I believe that still it has little bit differences. So when we separate them to two different channels, we have this hook to have like more big volume in the sound. Probably that's just my idea, but for me it works, and it works on the track. I don't know what else. Here we have some vocal loops to have this volume, to have this, I don't know, this background sound, you know. Of course, big section with drum rolls. I use loops, of course. Also, pretty often I use just a regular 909 kit from Ableton. It's really amazing. For me, it's one of the best, and honestly, I do not see any reason to find something else. As you see, yeah, this we have here drum rolls. And effects, I don't know, and yeah, and it sounds pretty easy. That's it. If you have some questions, I'm happy to tell. Yeah, tell me.
Maybe you can show a little bit the process when you like start writing melodies, how you do it.
Yeah, exactly. Yesterday, maybe I can start you from another project, because I'm starting to work on the album. And I have started it just yesterday on the plane in my studio. So yeah, this is what, like you see, it's very new project, and this is what I did. It was, I started always with the drum. I'm trying to find the drum. Sometimes then when on the final mix we change the drum kick, because sometimes it has very, like, we have the track itself, but we feel that maybe we need some higher, like more top on the kick, or maybe it has a big tail. So sometimes on the final mix we change something. But for me, kick is always the beginning, you know. Then 909, of course. And HERTZ. That was here, some drones on the back. Normally, if you see the way track build, this is the way I made in the loops, you know, the first is kick, then it's like, okay, let's twist a bit 909 machine, then we have hi-hat, then we have some stops. Was the last, actually. Before the landing I add the bass. And that was actually a sign, you know. And this is the way it sounds. So for me, the main thing is to find a great groove, to find probably the good kick, and to find some ideas. If I understand that I'm gonna do kind of melodic track like this with more melodies. So yeah, I'm trying to twist some signs like Anna, like Silent of course, like Massive, also a pretty good one. Yes, and this is the way it works. But you know, with techno, for me, the most important, yeah.
Question about mix down. That's right, I need to interrupt there.
This is a bad mix down, I know.
Well, yeah, you know, just in listening environment isn't perfect either, so we forgive you on that. But for me personally, I always wonder, you know, people talk about cutting low end, so like if you have the kick or if you
You talk about the final mix down.
yeah, well, you know, as you go along, you know, because like if you have a kick and you're introducing a bass line with that kick, you
Yeah.
want to test it out, you know, shaving off, making some pockets. Do you, you know, what do you like to do there? Like, do you cut off? Some people say roll off under 30. Some people say just put a little dip.
Well,
The
honestly,
kick.
honestly, you know, for me, mix down, as I said, because for me, the most of time I work in like I work with my headphones. I work somewhere on road. So the final mix down, these kind of things, I send the track to the studio to make the final mix down. Because for me, I always once I heard this in business masterclass, and the guy said that for me, like final perfect mix down is like to fill the glass with water perfectly. You know, when you fill the water, 95% you fill very quickly. And then the rest of 5% you have to be very, very slow, super careful to make it perfect like this, you know? So for me, I prefer to work on this 95%. And when I need the mixing, mastering, I can do this by myself, but I prefer to give this to professionals and to send me the perfect mix and the perfect master. But if you have some specific questions, let me know. I'm gonna forward them. Yeah, for me, it's more important to have this creative process, of course, because that's an idea, and I have this experience. I can imagine, I can close my eyes, and I can imagine how this track will work. Also, I can even, like, it happens frequently when you start the track on the plane, and you do it quick, you know, like tools. Okay, this breakdown, this, okay, some FXs, because I know that it's gonna be big party. And probably tomorrow I'm playing for a very big party in Madrid for 3,000 people, and probably tomorrow I will already play this track in Madrid, because I will do the long project, not like perfect, you know, some drums to make in, some drums to make out, and some idea for 3 minutes in the middle to understand how it works, what should I change, the way to see how this creative idea works. If it works, we can keep on doing this later. Well, this is the way I work. That's why I'm here to explain it. Yeah.
Is there something on the master channel? Did you already show that, or is it?
Well, no. Well, on the master channel, normally when I have this kind of project, I use. Yeah, I'm gonna show you. I use mastering rack and equalizer, and of course limiter. And but it's, as I said, it's just for my raw project, just to try it on the club. Of course, to compress it a bit, to not to make it super wide, and to understand that it will sound at least like 90% good in the club. So it will be compressed, it will be equalized, and we can see the way it works for the people. More questions? No questions. Come on. Yeah.
Talk about how you structure your tracks and the transitions.
Yeah. For me, right now, it's very important, and we live right now in the video, in the time of the videos and Instagram, you know. And if you check the videos, the way it works like this: drum rolls, drop, you know, and the people like exploding. As I said to you, losing the shoes, you know. And back in the days when I was working on my tracks, I normally had 2 breakdowns in the track, like one first breakdown and then big breakdown, and still like the first was the beginning, the second was like the big one, like 1 minute with drum rolls. Right now I'm trying to keep one break, because we understand like 5-6 minutes tracks, it's more than enough. For example, when I play, I have 18 tracks during the first hour. I play 18 tracks. And I know that what I need is like real big breakdown. So when I work with the track, this is what I'm doing. And you see here, I have the groove, and it's looped. Normally, next what I'm doing, I'm starting to make this drum roll build in, and then I check again, like I'm adding, and then, okay, it works, it works. And normally right now in my tracks, I'm trying to do like 1 minute, if I'm doing the build, of course I'm doing the build-in, if I understand your question correctly. I'm doing the build-in, of course we have like 2 minutes of like main body of the track, then the main breakdown, and then the main drop, and again 3 minutes, and we go out. Just 5-6 minutes for track. And also what I see right now, because we are living also in the time where we have to focus, I mean, that's my personal point of view, we have to focus on the people who listen our tracks as well, not just to the people who play our track, also for the people who listen our track. So it makes no sense. Then it will be pretty hard to make radio version, you know, for Spotify and this stuff. So I think 5-6 minutes for me, for my track, is perfect. Yeah.
Maybe I have a question about this, because you said you're like making a radio version.
Yeah.
And do you still do it for like Spotify? Because, for example, also I sent tracks to like radio stations. They said, yeah, great track, but we can play it because there's the intro and outro is too long. Because
Yeah.
it's like 6 minutes.
This question to my label. For example, if we sign the artist, we send the requirements what we need from the artist, and we of course we ask for pre-masters, and we ask to make radio versions, and we share to the all streaming platforms. We share radio versions, and we also right now do 2 weeks exclusive for streaming. And then we just make the release on Beatport or others retailers. And it's critically important for us to have radio versions, and it's critically important for us to have proper radio version, not just fade in or fade out or cut, because this is what I have faced many times with my label. And I ask artists, can you please send me good radio version? Like, and sometimes they cut, and some of them they just cut even like. They do not count like 32, you know, kicks. They just cut like this. I'm saying we need 3-4 minutes radio version, and they send like 4 minutes, exactly 4 minutes, and like cut like this. And few times I had this, honestly. Right now, because we are living when for us, and I don't know, there are many label managers here, and we right now get same amount of money from Spotify and same from Beatport. And back in the days when I had my first release on Terminal M, on the label of Monica Cruz, the label manager, Rainer, he told me that, man, Spotify saved the industry. 2 years ago, I didn't understand him. Right now I understand what he was meaning, because it's it's important to prepare your tracks for the regular listeners, and probably you will not face this situation with radio stations as well, if you will have radio version and club version. 3 and 4 minutes. Yeah, we try to keep. Also, I don't know, probably because we have big YouTube channel called Radio Intense, it's also kind of mixing stuff. And we understand that for YouTube it's very important, they really check how long people listen your like look your video, listen to your video. It's very important, will they show to another people? And I believe that with Spotify, they have, nobody knows, of course, and I hope maybe I will meet somebody like some engineers and they will explain me. But I think the algorithm is pretty same. If people listen the track from the beginning till the end, Spotify algorithm understand that this track is interesting for them, and they start to push it to, like, this is what we have. Unfortunately, I cannot show you, but this is what we have, for example, in our analytics system for Spotify. And if the track has melody, if the track has some vocals, if it's not just the tool, Spotify tried to push this track to the radios, to editorial playlist, to automatic playlists as well. And this is super important because we get the half of the listenings from that editorial automatic playlist. So, well, I think if you have release, right now it's very important to make maybe one track for dance floor to kick everybody, and then maybe one track for people to listen.
Do you also make a softer version? Because I know people from other music genres, and they do like a soft radio version because
soft versions, no, never, no. I don't know, with kick reduced? I don't know how it must sound, or without right, or without without claps on the kick. No, no, no. Maybe it's gonna be next step for us, but for this moment, no. We are doing this like radio. It must be like good radio version with normal beginning and normal end, not just cut or fade in, fade out. So probably I don't know, guys. If you already I believe you signed your tracks, and if you have some other experience, let us know. More? Yeah.
What's your approach to remixes? Obviously, when you get a remix in, you get the audio stamp. How do you control those?
Yeah, it's a good question. Sometimes the last remix I did, it was for Marc Antonio, Analytic Trail. Right now it just released last week. It depends. If I have the sample pack and I feel that like I like some ideas, I like some melody. I'm trying to do different stuff. I really hate remixes which are like almost pretty like kind of copy of the original version, or like edit or something like this. And I'm trying to find in the sample pack that I get from the artist, I'm trying to find something interesting for me, and probably it will be just like the sound or something like this. Sometimes like for example with a remix for Marc Antonio, it was kind of synthesizer frequency, you know, and like I was thinking like, okay, I can use it. I did just a short loop and use it on the break. Sometimes I do the completely new track, and then I think, okay, what should I add from the remix pack? You know, like, okay, this vocal, like, okay, probably this will work, and I add it somewhere on the break. It depends. If the sample pack they send me, it works for me and it matches the idea of the remix. Normally when I do the remix, I do the track from scratch. I don't know, I just get requests from Joy Hauser to make remix for Phobic, and I'm gonna start it next week. Probably I will use more samples because I like what they do, you know, and probably I will feel this hype for this upcoming project. And it depends. I cannot say that it's like this or like this. It's creative process, and it's different sometimes from case to case. Beloka will have release on Codex, and I really love the tracks. Probably if we will do the release with remixes, I will use a lot from the samples you send, yeah, because the tracks are really good. It depends. It depends. No questions? Yeah.
What about the low end processing? Do you have anything with kick?
No. No. Because yes, as you see here, it's like the raw project, and here I'm trying to find the idea. You see on here, it's a bit compressed. I have compressor here, and on the silent, I have also compressor. Compress it a bit to make it like, because without compressor, it will sound really picky. To make it sound more fat, I try to compress it a bit. And of course, here we have sidechain.
Do you usually like compress or do anything for it?
No. I'm trying. Honestly, I'm trying always to use the kick I like already. I have, thanks God, most of the sound producers that release their sample packs are good friends of mine, and they send me the sample packs with demos. They send me demos, and here you go, bro, the new sample pack. And I'm trying to, if the sound engineer who is doing the mixing and mastering for my track, and sometimes he calls me and say, hey, bro, you know, but this kick, it doesn't work. Probably I don't like the way it sounds on the mix. We change it or we compress it a bit, but normally in the raw process, the way when I start my track, when I listen, when I have this creative part, I do not compress kick, never. That's it. But really, it's hard for me to because I believe that they're always here sound producers, you know, and like I will not tell you anything new. Yeah.
For like the kick, for example, do you regularly use kicks with a long tail and then just use the basic synthesizer
Well,
on the kick? Or do you
in the last maybe during the last 2 years, there's a way I did. There's the way I did. I'm trying to find the kick, which already will be the good bass line for my, for like, a kick and bass we have all together, you know. So right now, yes. Right now, for the last projects I have, I use kick with a long tail. No questions?
No, I just find it like super interesting because you're like I think like many new producers have this kind of like find it problematic because they're trying to reinvent the wheel by trying to do everything by themselves and find themselves like learning to layer like different kicks and so on, which turns out to be impossible in the beginning of their
Well,
production career.
there's a way I started I started everything myself, you know, because back in the days I'm from Ukraine and from small city in Ukraine, and we had nothing when we started to make music. We had no internet connection. I had, when my parents went sleep, I inserted like phone, like connection to have like something like okay, I watch porn, but but sometimes I also try to find something for my for the production stuff, you know. And yes, everything we had to learn from scratch, and still we are learning. And thanks God that right now, you know, world is small, and you can travel. Like I see a lot of guys also from my countries coming here, and you can really the world right now. I think right now for everyone is so easy. If you really have passion and you have ideas and you really want to do something, right now the world is open for everyone, and you can learn everything. You can do whatever you want. Just do it. That's it. So it's a good moment for the people who want to make music. And also there are so many labels you can send in. It's easy to make the good career, I believe. Yeah.
And maybe I have like label question.
Mhm.
You like listen to demos for your label?
This week, no.
Yeah, no, not for sure, but
Yeah, I'm trying to listen myself.
yeah, but what are the parts like where you say you focus the most on? What do you expect from a demo? And
It depends. It depends. Right now, already, you know, how to explain. For me, the most important thing is if I can imagine this track in my set. If I understand that I'm gonna play this track, I will sign it. Or if sometimes it's different. For example, we have some melodic demo with nice. I understand that it's pretty melodic for my set because I'm playing a little bit harder, you know. And but if I understand that I can make the good money on Beatport selling this track, I will sign it. Or I can make the good money because for us it's business. And I can tell you guys, since we have changed the strategy of working on the label. Previously, for us, the label Codex and IAMT, it was the tool of making hype, or because you're a cool DJ, you must have cool label or something like this. And since we changed the strategy, since we changed the idea of working with label to making not reputation, to making money, it changed completely everything. I really understand that a lot of people will hate me right now, like music must be for the passion or something. No, but if it brings money, if you focus on the money, you build the work process completely different way, and it brings a lot. It brings in reputation, and brings passion, and it brings money. And right now, of course, for us, when I listen the track, yeah, I still want to have it on my in my DJ set, but if it will not, but if I understand that this track I will sell and we will have good profits for the label, we sign it. And it's for the melodic track, it must be idea, melody. For the hard track for my set, it must be, of course, groove. Groove is a king in techno, and for me, it's the most important to imagine this track in my set. That's it. And of course, I listen like the body of the track. I listen the break. I listen the drop. Drop is super important right now. How will I record my videos without the drop, right? That's it. So yeah, everything is important. The idea itself, and of course mixing and mastering, not because we can do the master, but if mixing is poor, and I mean, it's not just like one thing or this thing or this thing. Also important, if for example, happened many times to me when artists send me the track, I think I listen to tracks like the worst thing the artist can do for his artist profile is to send just the links. If I see the links, I even don't listen. I delete completely. If I do not see like hello, my name is blah blah blah. I think the best idea what you can do if you want to sign to the good label, first you have to be very like, you have to write it correctly. You have to write your email correctly. You have to be R&R manager has to understand that this email has written completely to him. You know, like you have to mention the tracks they had before. It's better. You have to not just like I want to sign on your label, and you know like, and understand that this was email sent like to 100 labels and that's it. If I see that the artist was like, yeah, he's in the stuff we do. And of course, it's super important to mention the labels where you had releases before, because sometimes I don't like the track in the beginning, but I get back to the email and I see the artist, well, he said, I was on this label, I was on this, and I'm thinking, okay, I have to check once again more carefully, because seems like it's a good artist, and probably I'd never heard about him, but and other labels sign his tracks, and so this is important. This is important. Not even the same important as to send the good tracks, of course, to make the good email, to prepare the good email and personalized email, not just the email like. If I see that in the copy there are like 100 labels, I do not open. I just delete this email. I will not even like listen, because you know it's. I don't know. It's like to go to date with many girls and to give them the flowers. They can and everybody know that you're not just. She's not the one. You know. Understand we are not the one, but still, you know, you want to be like inside of it. You want to have this kind of exclusivity feeling. So.
For you that, for example, that the artists have a like big social media following?
Social media, no.
Is it a thing for you, or do you just say it's the
Привет.
track is good, and then you don't care if it's a small artist?
Don't care. Yeah, I can take it first. For example, if the artist is not big, I can take to IAMT. But for me, right now, honestly, IAMT, because we have Codex, and Codex is more for the big names, and IAMT is for like the newcomers. You know, we decided to separate it this way. And honestly, some weeks, some months we have. For me, IAMT sounds way better than Codex, because for Codex we have like the names, and sometimes those people are good friends of mine, and I cannot say like, I'm sorry mate, but this demo shit, you know. so yeah, I said, yeah, can you send me one more track or maybe 2 tracks more? I will listen, and then we sign it. But on IAMT, like I always sign without dubs, you know. If I like, I sign. If I don't like, I don't sign. And for me, IAMT sometimes has way better material. Codex is more like fancy, you know, like everybody's, oh, we want, you take it to IAMT, yes, oh, we want on Codex, you know. I'm saying, no, IAMT is good as well, believe me. And yeah, people understand that we're doing this kind of selection, but music-wise, for me, yeah, IAMT is sometimes way better. So it doesn't matter.
Do you still do the same promotion for both labels?
Yeah, for both labels. I have a big Spotify playlist called Techno 247, and it already has around 92,000 followers. So we have a good asset to promote the track. For example, last remix I did for Marc Antonio. Spotify had their remix for Kaiser Disco, because there were 2 remixes, one from Kaiser Disco, another from me. And Spotify, they add the Kaiser Disco remix to Electronic Rising playlist, which is super big playlist as well from Spotify. And I said, okay, I will add my track to my playlist. And my track gains 2 times more listenings than the one which was added to Spotify editorial playlist. But so I know that for me it doesn't matter. If I like the track, I know that we will promote it the same. We never do any like differences between promotion, because we need to sell the music. For us, it doesn't matter. If the track is good, we want to sell it to the people. That's it. And don't want to, when the artist has a big name, it helps to sell, but it helps if he shares on his profiles, of course it helps. But from other side, doesn't matter. We do we're trying to do the perfect job for every release.
What kind of release schedule do you have? Is it like one per 2 weeks or
1 week.
one per week?
One per week. So with 2 labels, we have 8 releases a month, or even more. Pretty tight.
Do you see that there's a long tail with these kind of tracks these days, meaning like they are being listened to for a very long time, or do they die
Well,
out in a couple of weeks?
honestly, like you mean demos or
No, I mean like the stuff that you release.
scheduled.
Do they are they being listened for like months ahead, or do they die out? Is it like very short the tail of like how people are being interested?
Well, with Spotify, with Beatport it's different because like there are two different worlds. And for example, with Spotify, because we have the big playlist, my playlist with a lot of followers, it's very interesting the way it works. For example, we add the track for 1 week to the top of playlist, and if people like this track, they start to add to their own playlist. So we remove from the top positions because we try to keep quotes. Of course, I cannot have the playlist just with the tracks from my label. So we have 15 tracks from Codex, 15 tracks from IAMT, and the whole amount of the tracks is 100. So we have this quoting. We try to keep it like not just to push our stuff. But if the track is good on Spotify, yes, it has impact in the beginning because we push it on to the top position. But people start to add this track to their own playlist, and they listen this. They go to the gym, they go somewhere, and they have the home party, and already the track works from the private playlist from the people. And some successful tracks we have, they already have been added to 1,000 playlists. Even right now, we do not give any support to this track. Of course, it's not so big as in the beginning, but still the tracks, good tracks, they have about 500 listens a day without our support already. On Beatport, of course, it's different. It depends. Right now, also on Beatport, the way, I've started with production right now, but for the labels, I can tell many interesting things because we're really like right now digging deep in this stuff. For the Beatport, it's super important right now to have this editorial playlist. They have these editorial charts as well, and it's super important to be there. And for example, I still do not know anyone from Beatport. I have just distribution. But when they see that you work hard and you have very good order of releases, and when they see that it goes everything like properly, and when they understand that you select music really like carefully, and the stuff you select is good, not just like the tracks from my friend or something like this, they start to give you support without any, we do not ask anything right now. And last week we had Banner on Beatport, Techno, and thanks God, they always give us support. And when the track gets to the Beatport editorial playlist, chart, it also has very big impact on Beatport sales, 100 or something like this. So yeah, of course, it's a matter of material, it's a matter of support from Beatport, of good luck, of the years of R&R manager, I don't know. Yeah, but for the demos and for this stuff, we're trying to listen every single track we have on the guys who send out the links or the spam demos. Yeah, we never listen, but for the different stuff, we try to be very careful and support the artists maximum. More? There are two, for the good demos and for the bad demos. No, I'm kidding. The main address is demo@Spartaque, my name.com. Demo@Spartaque.com. It's easy. If you have something cool for us, send us. I will be personally very happy to listen, without judging. Okay, guys. I was honestly. I really appreciate you guys standing here before, because I cannot imagine. I was saying to you, bro, I cannot imagine myself staying and listening the way the judge okay, this track is good. No, this track is shit. Well, so yeah, good ones.
Can we send a track only, or maybe 3?
Yeah, normally I'm asking, this is what I really ask from the people. I ask to send me 3-4 tracks so we can choose, but not more than 5. Because some artists send 5, and the worst thing it can be when they send like 15 tracks with 15 different links. They do not know that it's possible to gather on SoundCloud everything to the playlist, right? And send playlists. They send 15 different links and you have to click. And yeah, normally I'm asking, and one track, not a good idea. Because some artists, they send me, oh, check this demo. You listen, no, bro, this, I'm trying to reply. If I see the good email, like with hello, blah, 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 you know, so like not just like listen. And if I see the good email and if I see the artist really wanted to talk with me and wanted to, like it was like, you know, good email, good request, I always try to answer. And some of them, they send one track, I'm saying, no, this track doesn't work. Ah, please listen to this one. No, please listen this one. And of course, after 4 emails like this, you just skip this artist because you understand that he will send you the demos until the end of of my life for sure. So yeah, the best you can do if I think it's better if you have like if the best thing is to make 20 tracks. Then to take 4 tracks, 4 or 5 best tracks. I think this will work for any label, not just for mine. To make 20 tracks, then to take 4 the best from your opinion or from opinion of your friends, and then send these 4. If the label says no, not push them in the like give them 2 months, maybe work more on your stuff, you know. And it's better to work like this. I think it's more useful strategy to get signed to the good label. Yeah. Not send it immediately. Okay, I have 4 more. Okay, 4 more. 4 more. Because they will like, okay, stop this. More?
And when you get like demos which are like maybe good, but it's not perfectly fit to your label, do you also reply?
Yeah.
Let the people know?
Yeah. Oh, it depends on, as I say, it depends on the message. If I see that there is no respect to my side, or the artist doesn't want to, like, if I see that the artist is really like polite and want to, I always try to. I'm saying this time I'm not 100% sure. If I believe that this artist can bring me something more, and I always say like, please send me some more demos. I will be happy to listen. And of course, it's important to have the connection. I mean, if artists make good music, it's important to have the connection with artists because you never know who will be this artist in 5, 6 years, you know. And it's better to be smart. So it's better to be like forward thinking, you know, because you never know who will be. Like there are many DJs. I'm playing already 15 years, and there are many DJs who were nobody in the beginning. Right now, they are super big, you know. And if you will say to them like, if you will not show respect, like from human to human, probably you will face not the best situation in the future. So you must be forward thinking. You never know. Yeah.
In your tracks, there is a on your face effect without losing the low end. How you manage it?
What do you mean? I'm sorry.
I mean, when you are, for example, in beatboard, you are listening track, and when you listen your track, it's getting in your face. I mean, the frequency is just slapping to your face without losing the low end.
Equalizing. And well, actually, the mastering, I do with my good friend, and he's doing all these mastering mixing, and I think for the final compressions and the final mixing tricks, if you want, I can give you his email. You can always ask. Well, for me, my mastering you can hear in my sets when like you see the playlist with very new track from Spartaque or remix, and this track first time appears in my playlist. That's my mastering. You know? When then appears later, it's probably the mix from some producer who I work with. Well, but yes, he's keep learning, so I'm happy with it. Every day is better and better. Well, honestly, I think that's a good question because I think if you will find somebody, it's good when you can do everything yourself. But if you can get the good help from the people who already can do the good mastering, good mixing, this will increase the chances to get to the good label because still sound quality is sound quality, you know. And if your track has a good idea but sounds like shit, it's like with everything, you know. If you want to go to the from Amsterdam to Barcelona, you want to be with the best pilot, right? Or the same. It's if you have possibility, money or contacts or something to work from the beginning with studios, or you can, yeah, maybe you are God-gifted sound producer, of course, I believe that. But working with studios, doing the proper mix, doing the good mastering, I believe can increase your chances to get to the good labels. This is what I'm doing. Okay, I think we are on. Yeah, I'm talking too much, guys. Well, thank you very much. Yeah, it was. Yeah, that's my real name. So yeah, if you have some private questions, I will be here. I will hang out here, or maybe we have some meetings. I don't know. Thanks.